Hey, what's up, guys? This is Robin here, and thank you for joining us today as we travel on a 5-day Mexican Riviera on the NCL Joy. Now, the NCL Joy is a breakaway plus class. It's one of the 4 ships. The other 3 are the Escape, the Bliss, and the Encore. Now, I've been on both the Bliss and the Joy, and there are some minor differences between these ships, and I'll go over them in these ship reviews. All right, so without further ado, let's kick it off with some highlights. Let's go. So here is the observation lounge. This is really the highlight of this breakaway plus class ship. All of these were designed for Alaska and some for Asia, really to have a great lounging area. So this is on the front half of the ship on deck 15. It's really long on both sides. You got the starboard and the port side. You got lots of chairs, lots of lounging areas. You even have some spaces for some snacks. There's also a full bar and a piano at the front of the ship. You want to get there early in the morning, guys, because especially on a sea day, it gets really packed. It's also a great space to kind of camp and lounge on embarkation day or disembarkation day. A great location to rendezvous with your family after the mad rush at the buffet. Here we have the drink menu of the observation lounge. Lots of delicious mixed drinks and your premium spirits. Of course, if you have the drink package or the premium plus package is what I generally recommend. A little bit more money, but you also get included the higher premium whiskeys and tequilas, wines, and also sparkling waters. The observation lounge is probably the biggest highlight for most people. It's a great place to just lounge and chill, take a nap, do some work, check some emails. They have live music generally in the evenings, and it's really popping at the bar at night. Up top, you can see the view also from the Garden Cafe. That's the very front of the ship, another great spot to hang out when you're eating or lounging. The next main highlight is the room. The room we got for this trip was a balcony room, and it was really nice. Definitely you can feel that it's a newer ship. It's got a modern design, lots of wood, lots of whites, lots of chrome. The bathroom was wide enough. You can see that it's kind of semicircle. So if you got like a little wide body like me, you might be able to fit in there a little easier. It's got some beautiful artwork on the walls. It's really a beautiful ship, guys. You can tell that they really try to attract the Asian market, and you can see some of the Asian flair, some of the color tones and the design. And this is the Atrium. This is kind of the centerpiece or the center of the ship. As you can see, it's not as grand and extravagant as maybe some RCL ship or Princess Line ships. It's a little bit more muted and more kind of, I guess, humbled. This is the main lobby area. This lobby bar gets really poppin' on embarkation day and disembarkation day, on sea days. Adjacent to it is the Starbucks. On the NCL Joy, the Starbucks is a little bit smaller than the other Breakaway Plus class ships. So make sure you get there early and avoid the crowded lines. This is the main area with the large projection screen. They do a lot of games here, a lot of activities, especially late night, and you can observe from the upper deck at Oceans. All right, guys, so as you know, the food on the NCL is better than most other major cruise lines. I'm gonna kick it off with the Indian food here. The Indian food here every day is amazing, especially those little crispy little tortilla things. I put them on top of my ice cream. I can put it on top of anything. It's like almost like a topping. Really, it's like an ultra light, I guess, low carb, semi low carb chips. We also have a bunch of vegetables. They got a pasta station. They got a burger station. They even have lechon. You know, they have multiple theme nights. So make sure you check your daily cruise activities sheet to see what is their theme for the buffet that evening. So this right here was prime rib night, and as you guys can see, the prime rib isn't like the most beautiful presentation, but honestly it's pretty delicious. So These chefs, they do a pretty good job, and I always ask them for a thicker cut. And also, I like my meats very rare, so I ask them for the rarest piece they can give me. Now this is the Manhattan room, probably the nicest MDR venue on the ship. It is a white tablecloth seating. It's not a buffet, so you get seated, you have a menu. The menu kind of stays the same, doesn't really rotate that much. There's a few items that basically are staples that stay on board. My favorite is the fish. Obviously the New York steak is also good too. But the other items, they do change almost every day. So when you're walking past the Manhattan room, just take a quick peek at the glass menu, and so you can kind of prepare and have a game plan of what you're going to do tonight for your last meal of the evening. So one of the newest changes was the Oceans restaurant has changed their name to The Local. And to be honest, it's pretty much the same thing. I think they just kind of rebranded itself a little bit. They changed a few items on the menu, but overall it's a great spot for a 24/7 meal. I think they only close for like 2 hours, like early in the morning, just to vacuum. But you can go down there and get food any time of the day. It's generally very poppin' at night. This ship is also great for families. My family's just starting out, and this ship has a splash pad area, as you guys can see. Has little slides, great for toddlers. They even have a section for folks who cannot walk yet. If you're just a newborn and you're just crawling and just chilling, they have a little splash area, like a little sprinkler splash area for the little ones. So it's very family friendly. As you guys can see on the upper deck here, there are these giant slides that you can also ride for adults. The kids slide is also pretty dope. I don't think any adults are allowed on that one, but I'm sure the kids love it. Next up is the Go-kart Speedway. This is one of the unique kind of features of this Breakaway Plus class ship. NCL is very well known for their go-karts on their cruise ship. It is a really great design, a great idea. I've always enjoyed racing go-karts as a young man, but unfortunately on this trip, I was a little too big to get on one of these go-karts. One of the worst things about my experience on this ship was the embarkation and disembarkation. NCL, to be honest, does a pretty poor job compared to other cruise lines on getting their folks kind of organized and orderly. People were just lost trying to figure out which way they need to line up, and we're all trying to listen closely to the PA system, figuring out which elevators are working, which ones are down, which group they're boarding, which groups they're not. And a lot of people had their luggages, and that's a huge rookie mistake. Do not ever walk with your luggages on embarkation and disembarkation day. If everybody did that, we would just delay the whole system by hours. So just leave it up to the bellhops, and just keep your valuables obviously in a backpack or a small luggage, a carry-on type. But if you're carrying a giant luggage around, that is a no-no. Another big con of this ship is the smoky putting green. I love miniature golf, and I think a lot of families and kids really enjoy miniature golf, but for some reason on this ship, they put it on the smokiest area on the ship. So definitely wear a mask if you're going to be going to play miniature golf with your kids. Another low light of this ship is just the overcrowdedness. I think this ship is not like the largest ship in the world. It's not like those RCL mega ships. It's more like I would say it's a large to XL class, size ship, but it felt crowded. It really felt like there were too many people on the ship, especially on embarkation day and disembarkation day. You really felt it at the buffet areas. There's just a lot of spaces where everybody kind of goes to the same spot, and it doesn't really help. It feels more crowded than it should be. I think it has to do with just maybe the poor design layout, or maybe just because it's a shorter trip. Anytime you travel on these 5 days or less trips, they're considered kind of a booze cruise type of trip. You're gonna get a lot of young folks, a lot of partiers. that are really just there to drink and eat and just have fun and go crazy. But on these longer trips, when it's 10 days or more, 20 days, you're gonna have a little bit less crowd, and you're gonna have maybe an older crowd of customers. So on embarkation day, I believe we were probably one of the first people to get on board the ship. And that's really a cool thing to do. If you're able to lock on and check in and get all your passport stuff and online check-ins done, as soon as they open it, you can get that first slot, I think. So we were the first ones to get on board the ship, but unfortunately the rooms were not ready until like about 4 o'clock. So we were basically just sitting ducks for about 6 hours, and it wasn't that fun. So next time we might take the last time slot, maybe at 3 o'clock, and be the last ones to board, and hopefully the rooms will be ready. Another low light of our trip was the slow service. I'll be honest, most of our meals in the MDR were about 2 hours long, sometimes 2.5, 3 hours, depending on if we ordered dessert. It just took forever, and there were some meals that really just weren't not fun. You're basically eating all day because you're spending 3 hours eating, and then you're hanging out for a couple hours, and it's lunchtime already again. So, or it's dinner time already. So, I wish the service was a lot faster. I don't know what's going on. Maybe the ship is overcrowded. Maybe they're understaffed. But some things gotta change. All right, well, that's it for today, guys. Thanks for joining us on our review of the NCL Joy 5-day Mexican Riviera out of Los Angeles. If you made it this far, please give us a like and subscribe. Write some comments below. My wife and I read all of them. And I appreciate you guys. I love you guys so much, and safe travels. Blessings.